Explaining the book Make Money Easy, Create Financial Freedom and Live a Richer Life by Lewis Howes, I will dive deeply into each chapter, analyzing each idea, explaining examples, concepts, and practical tips so that it feels as if you've read the entire book. Introduction. Where do you begin? Lewis Howes doesn't start the book with numbers. He starts with the idea that your relationship with money isn't just a matter of calculations, but rather a matter of identity, beliefs, and past experiences. In the introduction, he poses a fundamental question. What do you believe about money? He explains how our past experiences, such as seeing your parents fight over money or living in deprivation, plant within us the idea that money is difficult, dangerous, or for others. The goal of the book is to remove all these psychological barriers, build a new mindset, then apply clear strategies to create financial freedom. Chapter 1. Programming the Money Mindset, Starting from Within. Chapter Concept. Before you can start making money, you must repair your psychological and emotional relationship with it. Key points. A child who sees money as causing pain grows up to run away from it. The old mindset, deprivation, anxiety, defensiveness, creates limited results. The new mindset, abundance, entitlement, building, opens the door to wealth. Practical exercise. Lewis asks you to write down all the beliefs you hold about money, such as, money doesn't buy happiness. It's hard to earn money. Rich people are selfish. He then asks you to write down the opposite and repeat it daily until you reprogram yourself. Money is a means to create opportunities. I deserve wealth. Earning money is easy when I provide real value. Chapter 2. You can't manage what you don't measure. The essence. Knowing your current financial situation honestly and transparently is the starting point for taking control. Tools Lewis offers. A spreadsheet to record your income, expenses, and debt. The 50-30-20 system, 50% for needs, 30% for wants, 20% for savings and investing. Weekly review. Sit down every Sunday for 30 minutes and examine your finances. The message. Ignorance doesn't solve the problem. The courage to look at the numbers is strength. Chapter 3. Skills. First, the real foundation of money making. Key ideas. The market doesn't pay you according to your needs, but rather according to your value. Your value equals skills, execution, communication, negotiation. Skills Lewis recommends: 1. Digital marketing. 2. Public speaking. 3. Sales. 4. Persuasive writing. 5. Data analysis. Golden tip. Start learning one skill in 90 days and start earning from it. Even $200 a month is enough to get you started. Chapter 4. From Money to Freedom. What do you really want? Lewis differentiates between working for money, where you trade your time for income, working for freedom, where you build assets that generate income without your constant presence. The concept of financial freedom. Having enough money to cover your lifestyle without having to work. Steps toward it. Reduce your fixed obligations. Accumulate 6 months of expenses as an emergency fund. Invest gradually to create passive income streams. Chapter 5. Building multiple income streams. Lewis suggests creating multiple financial systems that work for you in the background. Types of income he recommends: 1. Active income, from a job or service. 2. Passive income, from digital content, affiliate marketing, real estate rentals. 3. Investment income, from stocks, funds, projects. Practical strategy. Choose a skill, offer a paid service. Sign up your expertise in a course. Offer it online. Link the course to an automated marketing system. After the first $1,000, reinvest it in advertising or content. Chapter 6. Live under your means. Invest the difference. Chapter message. Wealth doesn't come from spending, but from discipline. Lewis's lifestyle. Despite his wealth, he lives on a smart budget and spends consciously. The 70% rule. Spend 70%. Save or invest 30%. Common financial mistakes. He warns against rare emotional buying, consumer debt, pleasing others with facades. Chapter 7. Train yourself to invest. The simplest types of investments he recommends: index funds, low risk and provide long-term growth; real estate, especially short-term rentals; knowledge, books, courses, seminars. Golden tips. Don't wait until you're rich to invest. Invest from your first $50 or $100. Chapter 8. Giving is the secret to financial power. Lewis believes that money is energy. The more you give, the more you open the door to receiving. Types of giving: money, time, skill, experience. The effect of giving: it makes you feel abundant. It brings new opportunities and networks. Chapter 9. Use money to live, not to limit yourself. Key points. Wealth isn't about having a lot of things, but rather having the ability to choose what's right for you. Lewis tells a story about a period in his life when he spent mindlessly and then felt empty. Chapter message. Use money to create memories, experiences, and improve your life and health. Chapter 10. Your personal financial plan, or Lewis's financial plan. Template. 1. Define your primary financial goal. How much do you need per month to live freely? 2. Know your current situation completely. 3. Create a fixed monthly budget. 4. Create an additional source of income. 5. Start an automatic monthly investment. 6. Learn a new skill every 90 days. 7. Have a weekly financial meeting with yourself or a partner. 8. Give regularly. 9. Review progress and adjust monthly. 10. Celebrate small achievements. Conclusion. Lewis Howes summarizes the book with a poignant sentence: true wealth begins within. When you value yourself and believe you deserve the life you dream of, money will follow, not the other way around. Prominent stories in the book. Story 1. The Broke Millionaire. The money that didn't fill the void. Chapter 1. The beginning of the dream, from nothing to everything. In his mid-30s, Jack was a seemingly successful man by all accounts. He drove a Lamborghini, lived in a mansion on a hill overlooking Los Angeles, and everyone who knew him described him as a self-made genius. He had founded a tech company 5 years earlier, and today his company is worth millions of dollars. But behind this glamour, there was a dark underbelly that no one could see. Jack slept alone every night, woke up at 3 a.m., couldn't breathe from the stress, and drank 3 cups of coffee just to start his day. He thought anxiety was normal in the lives of entrepreneurs, but what he didn't understand was that this anxiety wasn't caused by responsibility, but rather by an existential fear of failure and losing what he'd built. Chapter 2. Why does he do all this? Lewis Howes, in one of his meetings with Jack, asked him a simple question. Jack, if everything you've built disappeared tomorrow, who would you be? Jack paused, looked at the ground, and then said, I don't know. Maybe I'm nobody. This answer was revealing. Jack wasn't making money to survive, but to escape a painful past. He grew up in a poor home. His father beat him when he failed in school and mocked him every time he talked about his dream of becoming an entrepreneur. So money became his way of saying to the world, look at me now. I made a profit. I'm someone. But the problem? No one was seeing him. People saw his company, his watch, his car, but they didn't see Jack the man. Chapter 3. The Collapse. One day during a meeting with major investors, Jack felt something strange in his chest, as if his heart was being squeezed from the inside. At first he ignored him, but suddenly he fell to the floor, and everyone in the room ran to him. He suffered a heart attack and was immediately taken to the hospital. During his recovery, only 2 of his friends visited him, while his team continued to hold meetings without him. That's when he realized the truth. I've given my whole life to something that won't give me anything when I need it. He sat down with a therapist and cried for the first time in years. The therapist told him, the child inside you is the one who made all this money, but still feels rejected. That sentence shook him to the core. Chapter 4. Coming back. After months of therapy, Jack decided to change everything. He sold part of the company. He moved to a simple house near the sea. He began practicing meditation and yoga. He reconnected with his father and spoke with him for the first time about his old pain. He began writing a book about his experience, not to make money, but to help those who felt like him. The deep lessons of the story. 1. Money doesn't fill the emotional void within us. The void isn't filled with zeros in a bank account, but with love, honesty, and identity. 2. Unaddressed pain turns into distorted ambition. True ambition builds, while ambition based on escape slowly destroys the soul. 3. Mental wellness isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. You can't sustain your success if you aren't healthy inside. Story 2. Lewis's own story from nothing to financial awareness. Chapter 1. Childhood under pressure. Lewis Howes wasn't born into wealth. He grew up in a very modest household, and his father lost his job from time to time. His mother worked day and night to pay the bills. As a child, the phrase he heard most often was, "We can't buy that. Money doesn't grow on trees. Thank God you have a roof over your head." These statements weren't just information. They became deeply ingrained beliefs. Money is scarce. Success is only for the rich. Wealth is almost impossible. Chapter 2. The fall. His initial dream was to become a professional football player. He received a scholarship and began to shine, but during one game, he suffered a chronic injury that ended his entire athletic career. He returned to his brother's house penniless, jobless, without a college degree, sleeping on the couch and eating leftovers. And that's when he hit rock bottom. But then he started watching motivational videos on YouTube and heard for the first time about books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He began asking himself, what if everything I've learned about money is wrong? Chapter 3. Change from within. He reprogrammed himself. Instead of saying, "I can't," he started saying, "How can I?" Instead of seeing money as an enemy, he began seeing money as a tool. He read every possible book about money, investing, and marketing. He started offering small services online, then gradually built a reputation, then entered content creation, then had a successful podcast, and then began selling his courses and books. Today, he has his company, his books, his audience, and his income is steadily increasing. Chapter 4. Why is he writing this book? Lewis isn't writing this book because he wants to show off his wealth, but because he wants to say, I know exactly what it's like to see money as impossible, and I came from there. He's not just teaching how to make money, but how to think about money, how to feel about it, and how to connect it to your values and identity. Ying. The deeper lessons from the story go 1. Your financial mindset is true wealth. You could take all his money and he'd rebuild it because his mindset has changed. 2. Poverty begins in the brain before the pocket. 3. Money isn't a goal. It's the result of disciplined thinking and action.